Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Baby Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday night. Ooh, the last day of August. Oh my goodness. Oh well, let's just hope that the weather remembers that it's the last day of August. We've been in the 90s all week and that's been really nice. I'm hoping it kind of stays that way and that this is a nice new trend. Even though the weather app says otherwise, that it's supposed to go back to triple digits later next week. I'm hoping that's not true. Anyway, so it's been a day already. I woke up wanting, of all things, meatloaf. So John and I decided we would go do that. We'd go get the stuff to make meatloaf since Will paid his rent. Gotta love that. When you had grown kids living at home, don't let them freeload off of you. Make them pay rent. So he paid his weekly rent, and so off. Well, I went to Joann's first, and then I went to Kroger, which is right next to Joann's. Well, a couple of businesses between the two, but they're in the same little strip mall. So I got stuff to make meatloaf. And if you were in the general chat of the Facebook page, you probably seen my recipe. It's not hard. It's not hard. I use ground turkey because beef shrinks and makes a bunch of oil and stuff and makes it generally greasy and nasty. So I use ground turkey, and then I put a pound of Italian sausage in there with some meatloaf seasoning and some pre-chopped up onions and bell peppers and some eggs and some breadcrumbs. So you mix all that lovely stuff up and put it in the oven and let it bake, and then pour some tomato sauce on the top of it after it's done, and then put it back in there so the tomato sauce can, you know, get on there real good, and then it's fit to eat. So we had that, and then I had some beans to go with that, some baked beans out of the can. We ain't got time to make the real baked beans, right? Anyway, before I go into the yarn, a little bit of yarn that I bought at Joann's, not much at all. I had found some clearance yarn, and then I bought another cake of something that I needed to go with something else. But anyway, I don't know how many of y'all saw the videos that Dee's Creative Hands did and Thrift and Stitches did. But they had some issues that they encountered regarding bullying. I don't know what the whole situation with that was, but I also encountered an issue on my own channel's Facebook page where one of my lovely subscribers contacted me, said she felt like she had been bullied, and told me about the post that she felt like she'd been bullied on. And so I went and read the post. I felt like she was mistreated as well, and so I left some comments and to the two people that I felt like had mistreated her. She didn't answer their question quick enough, and so they made some little snarky comments about, you know, how she couldn't, like almost like she couldn't be bothered to share the color of her yarn that she was using in the picture that she posted. So they were going to have to go figure out what color yarn that was because they liked the yarn that she was using, and you know, that kind of tone. And I'm thinking to myself, she didn't answer your question quick enough, so you're going to have to go figure it out by yourself. Ooh, whoopity woo, you know, whang whang whang. You know, that's what's wrong with half our society, is that we're expecting someone to hand us all the answers when you can just, you know, put your big girl panties on and go figure it out yourself. Because I promise you, during the last 2 years of me doing this channel and figuring out how to put clips together, when I have many clips, small clips, and putting those together, who helped me figure that out? Nobody. Okay? Most of the stuff I do on my channel, and most of the crochet stuff I do and that I've learned how to do, I taught myself how to do. I looked up the tutorials and learned how to do all this stuff, 90% of it by myself. I didn't run around to this person and that person begging them for help. I learned it on my own. I researched and did my homework and learned it on my own. I didn't whine and cry and asked everybody for help. I just didn't do that. Because that's not who I am. I'm a very independent person. I like to learn things on my own. I don't like to owe my success to other people. Maybe that's, weird of me or something, I don't know. But I don't like to owe other people for my success. So therefore, I work on my own independently to research and do my own stuff. Now, do I mind if someone asks me, hey, how did you do that? Can you tell me how you did that? I don't mind if I'm already showing you something that I've made and you want to know how I got there. I don't mind describing that to you. Now, if you see something on Pinterest or Facebook or something, and then you come to me and ask me a question about that, I don't know, because that's not something I've done and showcased. But if it's something I've already made and you want to know the tutorial I used or, my process or whatever, I'm happy to explain that to you. No problem. But don't come ask me about someone else's project, because I don't know. And it's wrong to badger someone about things, because people have lives. We don't all live on Facebook. We don't all live on social media. People have lives. People have jobs. People have doctor's appointments. We don't have time to constantly answer questions to people that, could just with a little bit of effort go find the information themselves. I'm not trying to be ugly to anyone or anything like that, but some of us earned our way through this process and learning of doing things. And, earning your way and making efforts to learn things instead of expecting people to hand you all the answers is not a bad thing. When you've, done the work and done the research and learned these things yourself and, done the searches and found the tutorials yourself, there's a sense of empowerment behind that. There's, you feel accomplished when you've done it yourself. You don't owe your success to anyone. No one can take credit for that but you. And it makes it mean more to you. So it's important to be more independent like that. I don't begrudge anybody to ask me my process if they're just starting out or if they've never made garments before. I'm really shocked that I was just, able to do the things that I've been able to do. But I've always been a fast learner. I just always have been one of those people that can just pick something up and just submerge myself into it and research and just dedicate myself to it and just pick it up real quick. I've always been that type of person. I did that with computers. I did that with when I was painting. I've done that way with just about every subject I've ever took an interest in. I've always been able to learn it, and and just how it happened that crochet has just been something that I, like a duck to water, just took to. And I really consider it a blessing from God, to be honest, because I've always liked crochet. I just didn't imagine myself to be that good at it. So to have the talent and gift of it is, to me, God-given. It's something that the good Lord decided He would bless me with. I don't really feel like that it's something, that I was born with or anything like that. I hard fought for it. I worked at it and worked at it. And I can look at some of my older projects and compare them to my latest stuff. And I can see the progression and the, my skills have gotten better. And I can go look at some of my older stuff and say, oh, I see those mistakes, and I don't make those mistakes anymore. So, you just have to make mistakes in the beginning so that you can figure out, how you went back and corrected those so that you don't make those mistakes a year from there. Then, that's just the journey that is crochet. It's a journey. And so, I'm not trying to put anybody down or begrudge anybody asking for help. If you're a beginner, that's great. As a content creator, of course I'm going to get questions. And if you are just now trying to get into crochet and you're very interested in crochet and you want to know what tutorials I use to help me go learn crochet, email me. I will send you the links to the crochet tutorials that I got in to help me get there. They were by Pamela's Adoring Crochet. She has some tutorials, some beginning stitch tutorials that helped me get into crochet, that helped me finally get the stitches that put me on the road to crochet. And you just have to go in there because she does it a little quick. So I went in there and I got to the settings of the video and I changed the speed of the video. And when I changed the speed of the video, it was like a light switch. I finally got it. And so, you know, it was wonderful. Oh, cherry limeade water today. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get some strawberry water. But I just want to get that out of the way, you know. And on my Facebook page, it's a safe space. When I created this channel 2 years ago, I meant for it to be an upbeat, positive, happy-go-lucky, safe space for people to go and unwind, and hopefully I could make you laugh. Hopefully it was an escapism kind of situation where you could just go relax, you know, maybe sit with your project and listen to me talk, and, you know, just enjoy yourself. You know, I didn't want to have to talk about bullying and stuff like that, because that's not the place I'm coming from. You know, I want to remain positive and talk about Jesus and how much he loves you and how much I love you, and you know, things like that. I don't want to talk about bullying and that kind of thing. But when it's put in my path, I feel like I have to address it, you know, and it was put in my path today. So I've addressed it, and now I'm going to move on to more happier things. So hopefully, you know, if you're still with me, you can see what I got at Joann's. So Joann's had a little bit of clearance, and I mean a little, because they don't really know the meaning of clearance at Joann's, because their clearance is like 50 cents off. And y'all that go to Joann's, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But I did find, and I know that Ogos have mixed reviews, but I had been looking at these online before, and I'd really thought about getting these before, because I really hadn't worked with this yarn before. This Caron Simply Soft. I have some Caron Simply Soft, but it's in my cubes back here. I really hadn't worked with it. I don't know why. I guess it just one of those things you just have and you just hadn't got around to. But they had these on for like $2.97. Yeah, like two something, just under $3. Oh, come on now, I got too much on this box. But they had these Caron Ogos, and I know these Ogos people have mixed feelings about them. I don't have a problem with the Ogos. I don't. Yes, it's gimmicky, and I like it better without all this cardboard here. I like it where they just had the ball bands around the middle part down here and up here. That made more sense than this whole cardboard business. But these little Ogos it says it's a 4-weight yarn. It really, I don't know, it's a thin 4-weight, and it recommends a 5mm knitting needle, 5mm crochet hook. It's 100% acrylic. It's 5 ounces, 141 grams, 250 yards, 228 meters. It's made in Turkey. Machine washable and dryable. Let's see here, and it says the colors are soft pink and gold. So there you are, soft pink and gold. I did get 5 of these. Yeah, I know, but I needed enough to make a project. I just looked out and found them. Now, some of them had some green glitter on them, but when I went to, you know, kind of dust it off, it all came right off of it. So I was like, oh, okay, it's not stuck on them. It was just happened to splash on them. So I was able to get the glitter right off of it. It wasn't stuck to the yarn. Didn't ruin the yarn. But this is what it's working up like. I was a little worried that, you know, but I got enough to make one of my sweaters out of. But I was sitting there, and we were working on supper, and this yarn was it was sitting next to me in the living room, and it was calling me. Have you ever had that happen to you, where yarn just calls to you? Well, it was calling to me, and so I got my 5.5 because 5mm, I didn't want to deal with 5mm. So I grabbed my eye hook and went to work. Now here's the little Ogo. Now it started out, you know, the weird part is when it was connected, it had a little bit of yellow on this side, and then the rest of the, well, yellow, gold, and then the rest of it was on this side. But it was just enough gold on this side that I got 6 rounds out of it. And so, seeing as I'm trying to get to 24 rounds, I'm doing, I said, well, I'll do 6 rounds of each color until I get to 24. And so so this is 6, and then I'm working on the 6 of the pink, and then I'll switch back to the gold. But I thought it was pretty interesting that I got 6 of the gold before I got to the pink, and it worked out that way. But it doesn't tangle this way. It looks kind of like a hot mess right now, but this is staying intact because I haven't removed the little plastic. There's like a little plastic tag thing that holds them together. It's just like you know those little plastic tags that hold the tags on your shirts, you know, when you get them, those little plastic little things with the little ends on each end. When you pull these apart, it has one of those that goes up into it, and then you just pull that out, and then you just start using the yarn, and it works just fine. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know how that's going to work. It works just fine. It works better than a skein, actually. This doesn't tangle like a skein. It just comes off. And you can cake it up if you want to, but I'm good with this. I'm good with this because it just comes off. I worked with this situation when I did my shrug that I showed y'all in yesterday's video, and it was just fine. So this is actually, let me wind that back across around that. So this little gold side is trying to come undone a little bit, but I just round it right back around it. But anyway, but look at that. It has really good stitch definition. I mean, of course, half of y'all probably done worked with the Caron Simply Soft, but it's just regular Caron Simply Soft. It's not any kind of special version of it, other than it's got 2 tones on the same Ogo. But it's really pretty. And I wouldn't have thought to put these 2 colors together, but I said, well, if they're putting them together on the Ogo, why shouldn't I put it together? So, but I figure I'm gonna see if I got enough for like a 1X or 2X type sweater out of this one. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being a 1X. I don't think it's going to have enough yarn out of the 5 Ogos that I have to make it a 2. It's going to be on the smaller side, I think. I think it'll be a 1X sweater, this one. And so that's what this one will be. But let me put this aside. But it's really good on the hook. It's really smooth. I'm really enjoying that. And then I know this is weird. I don't normally do this, but I have 2 of these already, but I went ahead and bought another one of these because I didn't think 2 would be enough, because I don't have any corresponding colors to these 2 in stash. I don't like with the other cakes, like this Ogo, this Colorama Halo. I have the other colors. I have colors that will go with them to make up the difference if I need extra yardage. But the 2 I have like this, I don't have any corresponding colors to make up the difference as far as if you know, if it's enough yardage or not. So that's why I needed a 3rd one. You know, because I don't know what size I'm going to make with this, with these, and I wanted to make sure I had enough, because I didn't have any colors either in scrap balls or in the other Ogos back there that would really work with this color, this magenta color or this orangey color. So I didn't have anything that would really work with that. So the best thing I could do would just be go ahead and get one more cake of it. That way I have enough to make a bigger sweater because I'll probably make a 3X out of it. Let's just put it plainly, I'll probably make a 3X out of this one, but I'm not sure which shelf it's on. I know it's on one of these here next to me, but I'll put it over here sometime. I'll put it up in my little box there. But and then also I got a couple more of these. These were on sale, so I got a couple more of these pinks. This pink ombre yarn. I just got a couple more of these just to make sure that I had enough, since I have 6 of the other color that I plan on pairing with it. Ooh, hold on. Ooh, ooh. Oh. Says I plan on, see, I have 6 of these, and now I have 6 of these. So I can make a pretty good big sweater out of that too if I want to. I may now I can make a bigger sweater now that I have 2 more of these. So I'll probably make a 4X out of this one, since I have enough yardage now. So yeah, because I shouldn't have to. Yeah, I should have enough to do that now. And I have the magnolia color, which is like an off-white color, to do the accents and stuff. Now that I have plenty of each of these, I shouldn't have to use much of that other. Oh, excuse me. But that's the yarn I got from Joann's, and that's about all I got. But I made my meatloaf, and we had a can of baked beans, and then he made some broccoli, and then he made himself some shells and cheese. I can't eat that pasta, so I'm not supposed to have pasta right now. So but I'm gonna work on this Karen Simply Soft, but I might work another one side beside it, like get one square of that done, and then do another, you know, pull another one of these and work another, you know, just, you know, whatever I feel like, because it's, you know, anyway. But if you are, you know, interested in a particular color that I'm working with and wish to have it I'm trying to make sure that I have enough yarn to make one of these sweaters in whatever size I want to make it in. I know a lot of people make up sweaters to sell in smaller sizes because it's easier to make them in smaller sizes, and they leave us big gals out. We get left out of things like that. So that's why I'm gearing a lot of my sweaters toward the larger sizes. Like I'm gonna be making one out of this too, just so y'all know. I'm gonna use this and the Vanilla Frost Ogos that I got back here. That's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna because this is already pretty bright and pretty powerful by itself, so I'm gonna make 2 squares out of this. I know this will do 20 rounds because it's the same yardage as the rosemary that I just did the other sweater out of. And then I got a whole bunch of the Vanilla Frost and Ogos, so I got plenty of that. It'll probably take 2 of them, and I'm gonna do a sweater with that and the Vanilla Frost, which is like which is like this color. I think that will be just fine. I think that'll be fine. Yep, I think that would be just fine, because if you look, there's that color right there. Yep, that'll be fine. See? And that'll bring this, it'll kind of neutralize the brightness of this Padau orange in your face kind of color. So it'll bring it down a little bit. Yeah, okay. It'll you know, neutralize it a little bit. And so but if you know, if one of y'all sees a color scheme that you're really liking and you're a particular size, feel free to email me if it's something you might want to buy. I'm not buying particular yarn. I'm not doing special orders. I'm not going to do custom orders. But if you see that, you know, I'm talking about a particular yarn, then you're like, oh, I'd like to have that one, and you want to buy that, then go ahead and email me. My email's always in the description box, and just email me and put dibs on it, you know. And we'll talk about pricing. I'm fair. I'm very fair. What I did as far as pricing goes is I looked at Etsy and I looked at eBay and just kind of, you know, ballparked it. So, you know, and I base it on how much the yarn cost me, plus, you know, what the going rate is for a homemade sweater of that type. And so I'm really not, you know, that's why I don't want to be tied to custom orders, because then people are really stuck to a particular kind of yarn, and then I may or may not have that yarn in stock, and I really don't have a whole lot of, you know, spare money to just go randomly buy, you know, yarn I don't already have in stock. And I have an extensive stash already, so I'd really just like to use what I have here in stash already. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I really didn't go to Joann's to buy this clearance yarn. I really didn't. But it was so pretty and it was so cheap. I was like, yeah. And I had looked at it online before and it kind of passed it by. But at $3 a pop, I could not pass it by. So I said, well, I could probably turn that into something. So, you know, it was cheap. So that's why I got it. Otherwise I wouldn't have. And then I got that extra cake because I knew it, you know, that particular sweater was going to take an extra cake. So like I said, if you gotta, you know, if you want one and you want to put dibs on one that you see me making, then just email me, and you know, then I'll make sure to make it your size. So you know, anywhere from, you know, medium to all the way up to 4X. So I'm not going above 4X because you know, that's where my cutoff is. So most people don't try to make things bigger than 4X anyway. But anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'm gonna go. I'm in the last season of Supernatural, the season 15, and I'm like, do I just keep watching? Because I almost want to space it out so that I don't have to say goodbye so soon. Even though Johnny has already watched it and told me that it has a happy ending. So at least there's that. He didn't tell me how it ends, he just told me that it has a happy ending. So at least I know I won't be terribly sad at the end. So I'm good with it. But anyway, and tomorrow starts Vlogtember. So I will be on to talk about my day and what I did or whatever every day in September. And like we talked about yesterday, it might be 5 to 10 minutes long. I will try to, you know, make them at least 5 minutes long, if not 10 minutes long. And of course, Saturday, I'm planning on going back out to visit with Eva and her husband. And she and I plan, hopefully, if all goes well, to go to Monroe and check out their micheals and Hobby Lobby, because their micheals in Monroe actually has some new colors of the Karen swirl, cinnamon swirl, and they also have the macchiato cakes, and I just want to touch them. I don't really, to be honest, I'm not going out there to buy the yarn. I just want to look. I really want to just look at it, and the macchiato especially because it has wool in it, and it's been compared to scarfy, so I don't know if I want to buy that. I just want to really look at it and see if I want it. They have it, so I just want to touch it. You know, it's just one of those things, you just want to touch it. And I could order a cake of it just to touch it, but I don't want to do that. What if I get it and I'm like, ooh, that I don't like that, and then I've paid money and have something that I don't want. So I'd really like to go in the store and touch it first. And our local Shreveport and Bossier stores do not have that one. But somehow Monroe gets stuff before we do. So I figured since I was already going to be within a short distance from Monroe, that, and, you know, Eva likes to, you know, go look at that stuff too, that I could go and not have to go by myself. Anyway, so I will try to do my best and get some clips for y'all for Saturday. I make no promises because sometimes I just forget. So I forget that I need to record clips. But I will do my best to get y'all some footage of the Micheals up there and of her and I hanging out. I do have a little phone holder thing in the van, and so there may be some clips from us riding around and talking. So I will try to do that at least. But I hope y'all have a good night, and please remember to try to be kind to each other, and especially when you're on social media, please be mindful of what you're saying on social media, because you never know what words cut and what words trigger someone else. People are more sensitive than they think they are. There are people that suffer from PTSD, anxiety attacks, and they are triggered. And just watch your words, because once they're out there on the World Wide Web, you cannot get them back. And I don't want to get any more emails from folks that have been hurt from people in my comments or my Facebook page, because that broke my heart. And that really upset me. She didn't deserve that. And it's supposed to be a safe place, right? And good Lord, we're crochet people. We're yarny friends. Why are we bullying each other? Seriously. That's just crazy to me. Anyway, I love y'all, and so does Jesus. And please remember to adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.